Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new to the channel, my name's Tim. This is Vehicle Evolution, and the Genesis is still in the fleet and is not going anywhere. I've gotten a lot of comments on the last videos, Instagram posts, stuff like that, where people are concerned that I'm going to get rid of the Genesis. This channel was built on the Genesis, and I have no plans on getting rid of this car anytime soon or at all. It's is absolutely one of the funnest cars that I've ever owned, and I can't see getting rid of it. Now, having said that, there are a couple issues with it that I kind of need your help on, and it's pretty much a kind of a diagnosing issue, and then we're going to jump into some future stuff for the Genesis, and then we're going to get into some Jeep content, because I've got some cool stuff that I've already done to the Jeep that I didn't film that I want you guys to see, and then a mod that we're going to be doing to the Jeep today. So there's two issues, one with the hood and one in the front end somewhere. So the hood, if you guys remember, this is a carbon fiber vented hood. I got it probably about a year ago, thereabouts, and there were issues with the hood when I bought it. It came damaged. It had a break point right before the vent down here, and there was a lot of hazing in the clear coat on the hood. So what I did was I actually had a deal with the company that I got the hood from, and they paid for the color match wrap on it, and the wrap has been great. But the hazing, and I don't think you can really see it with this lighting, but the hazing, yeah, you can see it like right in here, is terrible. And I think it's time to get this thing unwrapped and probably professionally painted. The other thing that I'm noticing is right here, you can see kind of crack marks, and what I'm concerned about is that there's actual cracking on the clear coat underneath of this wrap. So I'm not sure what I'm going to see when I take the wrap off, and honestly, I'm a little nervous about it. But I think it's the best idea to actually get this professionally painted. So what I need your guys' help with is, in the Annapolis, Baltimore area, who would you recommend to do a really nice paint job without totally charging me an arm and a leg? I'm not opposed to paying for good work, but I don't want to get really screwed over it either. So what I'm looking at doing is exactly what I have here, where I've got the carbon fiber exposed in the vents, and then the rest of it is black to match the car. But the whole thing is going to need to be kind of sanded down and re-cleared to take care of that hazing problem. Let me know in the comments below if you have any recommendations for people in the Baltimore, Annapolis area in Maryland who would be good at doing something like this. So the second problem is a front end problem, and I'm not sure if you guys have experienced this in your Genesis or if you've experienced it in another vehicle, but on my right front side specifically, I have a rattling at low speed. It totally goes away at highway speed. It doesn't make any noise when I hit bumps on the highway or anything, but it does happen at low speeds, and it's kind of like a clunking thing. I have been all through my front end when I did my coilovers and checked all of my ball joints, checked all of my bushings, everything, to see if there was something that was loose, and I can't find anything. So we're gonna go for a little drive here. I'm gonna do some low speed stuff, hopefully with the windows down, and the audio will pick up the clunking, and see if you guys can give me a hand in figuring out what this might be, and we can get this thing fixed. I'm pretty sure it's probably an easy fix, but I'm just not sure where to look. So yeah, let's jump in the car and see if you can help me diagnose this problem. So I'm not sure if any of that is coming through, especially over the car engine, but if you guys have any ideas, if you had something like that happen in the past, whether it's your front left or front right, but it's a side specific issue, if you had that happen, shoot me a message in the comments below, or send me a DM through Instagram, and just let me know what fixed it for you, and you know, I'll give it a try, and it can make for a good video. We can actually fix this issue. So let me know. For now, we're gonna go for a drive. There it is. Alright, so let's talk Jeep mods for a little bit. We're going to go somewhere, we're going to go over what I've done to this thing so far, and then we're going to go over what is in this box here, and yeah, should be a good time. Alright guys, so let's take a look at what's been done to the Wrangler. So when you guys last saw it, very little had been done to it. So the first thing that you will notice right off the bat is we have a new bumper. This is a Barricade HD steel bumper with a 20-inch light bar that came with it. Inside here we have a Barricade 10,000 pound winch with a synthetic rope. I also changed out the D-ring, so I've got black ones with the little dampeners on there, and also changed out the hook with a different hook because, let's just face it, that looks cooler. But yeah, so it's got the synthetic rope, so it's not gonna snap, and if it did snap, it's not gonna fly back at somebody, it'll just drop. But this winch is very cool. Since it is synthetic, I do have a cover coming for it because I want that covered up. But yeah, the bumper is pretty sick looking. Yeah, nice bumper. I did tint the fog lights, but I have new fog lights coming, and I'll get into some of the new stuff in a minute. The wheels are now black, so I do want to upgrade the wheels. Certainly want to put bigger tires on it, but for right now, these are plasti dipped, and they have the glossifier on them, so they're not flat. They actually came out really well. They look like they came from the factory that way. So I did all 5 of the wheels, including my spare. And yeah, they look really good. I just need beefier tires. I'm not sure really that I need new wheels, but I definitely need beefier tires on it. But along that line, what I did do is, you'll notice here that the wheels are poking a bit, and that's because I can't stand the factory look with the wheels tucked into the wheel well. So I put some spacers on, and I have the wheels poking out a bit. It just gives it a little bit more aggressive stance, and you know, has really no other purpose other than that, but just makes it look a little bit better. So around back, if you didn't see my video on the tail lights, these are Raxium LED tail lights. I'll link the video in the description, also in the top right corner. But yeah, so blacked out tail lights, did the spare tire. I need to get rid of the dealership stuff on here because why have it, and I'm also going to get rid of the license plate frame, just haven't gotten to it. Also looking at a new bumper coming around here. I really didn't mention it at the beginning, but the side steps is one of the first modifications that I did. These are steel tubular side steps. Kind of acts as a rock slider, but with a dip for getting in and out. So the plan is definitely to lift this Jeep, and that's going to make it easier for family to get into it, because even stock they were having a little bit of an issue. So that will help. I'm not looking at doing a massive like 4.5 inch lift, and this being a rock crawler, so before you start typing away that these are going to suck for off-road. If I get into a situation where I'm starting to hit them on something, then I'll change them out for something else. But they were not terribly expensive. They look nice and certainly served the purpose. So when I blacked out my wheels, I also did my badging. So I've got the Jeep badge here, and I want to keep the badges on here. I actually have new Wrangler Unlimited labels coming that are going to be black. I added a smaller antenna, which I've read where the 7-inch antenna doesn't really do a whole lot. People have trouble with them. I haven't had any trouble with it. If you saw my little Instagram post, I added this distressed flag decal in the vent area, which I think looks pretty sick. Along with the badging, I did the trail rated badge as well, so that is black. So the idea is to pretty much have a blackout look on this, similar to the Genesis. I really think that all of the tinted stuff and the blacked out stuff on this is going to look pretty cool. So let's talk about what's coming for this. So already I have new lights coming. These are stock halogen lights, which are terrible. I have LEDs coming that also have a halo in them, and they're also going to be black. I have new LED black fog lights coming. I have new LED marker lights and turn signals coming that are sequential, which should be pretty cool. I have the tinted side marker coming, which is LED, so that will really complete the whole front look of this and give it that blacked out look on front. So I also did window tint. So it came with the factory tint on the back windows and the back passenger windows. So far I've just done the front driver's windows. I have the tint to do both these, I just haven't done it yet, and this is something that I actually did myself. So window tinting is one of those things that I always wanted to be able to do. I've tried it in the past. I have been met with monumental failure on it, and but it hasn't stopped me from continuing to try. And I actually found a company called Lexen that you can get their tint through Amazon or I think eBay. You put in your vehicle information, they will send you the computer cut tint for your entire car. So you get your front windows, back windows, everything. It takes all the guesswork out of having to lay it out, trim it, do all that stuff. You still have to do all your prep work right. You have to do all the application stuff correctly. But it is so much easier having that tint pre-cut. So I'll put a link in the description below to their Amazon link, which is where I got it from. It was $48 for the entire vehicle to get all of it pre-cut. And I have 20% tint on the front and then 15% all the way around the back. In Maryland, supposed to have 35%, but that just doesn't look right. So we'll see. If I get pulled over and have to take it off, I have to take it off. No big deal. I'll just order the 35%. But yeah, so that's a heck of a deal to get your stuff tinted, and easily something that you can do yourself in your own garage. Or I actually did it outside in the parking lot of my apartment complex and had absolutely no issues. The tint looks great. Let's get into what is in that box that is on my front seat. So as I mentioned, I have a LED light bar on the front. I have the base model, well, not the base, but roughly the base model Wrangler, and my Wrangler doesn't come with light switches. Just has this little thing here, and this is barely deep enough. And you can't even put a phone in, the shifter's in the way, and so I wanted some way of being able to certainly turn on my lights, but wanted expansion capability. So that's where this comes in, and this is the Rough Country 6 light switch module for that area right there. So let's take a look at it and see what all we got. This is all what comes with it. Cord, hookups, positive cord. I'll show you this. This is the actual module. This is going to be the piece that sits under the hood. We'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. So this will be the piece that sits in behind that area back there and will really help finish off the look of this interior. So we're gonna work on getting this installed. It should be pretty simple, just a couple hookups under the hood, taking the dash apart here, which shouldn't be that hard, and then we'll run the cable through the firewall, and we should be good to go to be able to hook up that LED light that's up there. And we've got 5 more switches for future expansion, which will definitely happen. Okay, so this should be pretty simple. We're going to mount the control box. It goes right over here on the driver's side. We're going to take out this bolt and this bolt, and then this is going to actually just fit right in here, and it'll sit in there perfectly, and this will be the connection point for all the future lights. And then, so right back there is the grommet that we need to pull out. We're going to drill a hole in it and then run our harness through to the inside, but this should be pretty simple. So we're going to mount this box first, and then we're going to deal with what's inside. So all we're going to do is we're going to take off all these screws that are back here. It's a 7mm nut. We're going to take those off and we'll replace it with our switch panel. And so there's the new switch setup. So before we put this in, we're going to run our wire back through here, and then we'll be able to hook everything up and get it all buttoned up. So now it's all back together. Switches are in the bottom. We'll get them all powered up. And then I'm waiting on a wiring harness to come for that light, and we'll get that hooked up. So let's turn it on, make sure everything works. And we have a blue light. Kind of hard to see, but it is blue. So the switches all work. They all light up, and nothing is sparking or catching fire, so that's a good thing. So that's going to pretty much wrap up the switch install of the Wrangler. We have 5 more spots that we need to hook some stuff up to, so more lights to come. I'm definitely going to do an onboard air system because I think that's just going to be useful, especially when I get to doing some off-roading. That's going to be huge. Definitely going to have some added lighting on the front. Thinking about, instead of doing a roof mounted light up there, about doing something that's actually low profile in the windshield, because I think that would look better. And I hear a lot of stuff about wind noise from those roof mounted light bars, but I want to have a big light bar on the front. But yeah, so a whole bunch of new stuff coming. But don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. But that's all for me for now, guys. Until next time, take it easy.